Hi, I'm Darren Kalal, owner of Integrated Building Systems. Here we are on another beautiful spring day in Wisconsin. This weather may not be good for opening day, but it's great for solar. Come on inside and I'll show you how it works. Here we are in the basement of my client's home, where you'll find the balance of a PV system. This is where all the components are that aren't on the roof. And here you'll find traditional items that you normally see. This is an electrical panel. You'll have one in your home as well. This panel has all of the major loads, water heaters and stove and cooktop and lighting that all the other electrical panels that you may have has as well. In this particular panel, what we call the critical load panel, you'll find things like the sump pump power, the furnace power, microwave power, fridge power, deep freezer power, all comes out of here. And the reason we separated them is because of this system over here. This is what we call an AC coupled system. Here we have coupled the power produced from the grid, from the solar panels, and from a battery system, which I'll get to in a minute. Here we have the disconnecting means for the two separate arrays that are found at this home. We have one array, it's called the house array, located on the main roof of this house. The second array is the garage array. That is another array of PV panels located on the roof of the garage. What happens is the power generated from those two arrays come into this combiner box and then gets dumped in to the system. The way this system is designed is all the PV power gets utilized first, and then if they need any more additional power, they take power off of the grid. And another thing that we do differently is this is a battery backup system. You'll see this cabinet, and within inside of this cabinet we have batteries. These batteries provide my customer battery backup power in the event of a power failure. A lot of people don't know that PV systems will not function in the event of a power failure unless the PV system is tricked into believing that they're still connected to the grid. Here we have a line diagram which is required by code, so anybody can come in and service this equipment. I tend to do it a little bit larger than most people. A lot of people just stick it into a pamphlet and stick it on the side. Here it shows how this AC coupled system is wired, so anybody can repair it if necessary. What happens here is the battery power, which is DC, comes from this cabinet, comes into this Magnum inverter. This inverter has a 15 millisecond transfer rate, so in the event of a power failure, within 15 milliseconds, this will transfer the power from the grid, from the batteries, into the critical load panel, which is over here. So immediately, DC power is converted into AC power, being utilized by the critical loads. This particular monitor panel tells you how the batteries are doing, how much load you're drawing, and how much power is going into the battery when they're being charged. This can be either located right on the device itself, or it can be located someplace else in the home. So you can control it from upstairs if you'd like. This device here is called the N-Phase Envoy, and what this does, this communicates to the microinverters that are located under each module on the roof. So this particular home has 23 modules on the roof, meaning we have 23 microinverters. Each microinverter is communicating to this Envoy, which is then being broadcast to the web. So if you want to see how your system is doing, you could take any web portal, either on your phone, an iPad, a laptop, computer, whatever you may have, and you can see the production of your system live. So if you see the panel that's bright blue, that means it's producing lots of electricity. The darker the panel is, it means it's producing less electricity. Because it happens to be 12 degrees outside on this very cold March day, and we just had a record snowfall of 30 inches over the last 30 some days, we do have some snow accumulation on this panel and on these two panels over here as well. The sun has not melted it off as yet. As soon as the sun melts it off, these panels will start producing power. In the event that it's summertime and there's no snow on the panels, and these are black, that would be an indication that there's either a problem with the panel itself or with the microinverter, which really is advantageous to know that kind of information for troubleshooting. All you have to do is look at this, you see a black panel, immediately you know that that's the one you need to work on. Thanks for watching. Pretty soon we'll be taking you outside to show you the other end of this solar panel system. And here's where it all starts. We're up on the roof. This is where the solar panels are located. You can tell that the sun is shining on them. These are generating 4,000 watts currently. That's quite a bit of power. Now you can't see all the modules on this system, but you're getting a really good shot of this section right here. These are 240 watt panels from Solar World. I really believe that solar in Wisconsin is here to stay. A lot of people believe that solar production is always going to be better in climates like Arizona in the southern part of the United States. Well, I disagree with that for a couple of reasons. Solar panels do not like heat and they do not like shade. Two things they actually have a lot of in Arizona, and I'll explain. When these panels are sitting on the roof, they get hot because the sun is shining on them. In Arizona, they get incredibly hot and they produce less power when they're hot. They also don't like shade, and in our case we have trees. They don't like shade from trees. However, in Arizona, they have so much dust in the air that settles on the panels that produces shade, so the panels become less productive. In Wisconsin, we have quite a bit more rainfall, which washes the panels off. Notice the pitch of this panel. Whenever rain or snow falls on this panel, it falls off and washes this panel clean. In Arizona, they actually have to install water systems to wash the panels off. That's cost prohibitive. We also have cooler temperatures. On a day like today, as you can see, I'm all dressed up. It is actually 12 degrees outside. These panels are having a great time. They love the cooler temperatures. They produce quite a bit more power when the temperatures are lower. I believe this is a wise investment. With a solar system, the upfront cost may be a lot more than your utility bill, but over time you can recoup it. And once it's paid for, all the production that comes from these panels is yours for free. You'll never get free electricity from the utility company. You will from your own system. Become independent. Don't rely on the big utility companies. If they ever have a system outage, you'll still be functioning. I'm Darren Kalal, Master Electrician, and I'd like to talk to you about solar.